DSP. As always, I'm your host, Josh. This episode is the final episode of the 2025 year. I just wanted to thank everyone who's been tuning in, people who've been reaching out. You guys have made this show possible. And I'm so thankful for everybody. Tonight's guest actually got my attention through his post of a Ledgestone goal. We'll get to that much further in the show because it is so amazing. But that got my attention, and I'll let my guest introduce himself, where he's from, and how he even got into disc golf.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Ryan. I am in Arvada, Colorado, and I got into disc golf in high school. Just went out throwing one day with my buddy. It was actually his older brother who introduced me in the sport, and I played for years and years, never got competitive up until 2022. I had an injury that had a lot go down with it. To make a really long story short, I lost feeling from my left knee down, and I had to relearn basically how to use that leg. I had to have nerve release surgery, a lot of physical therapy. And every time I was on the way to a doctor's appointment or something over this period of a couple of years, I'd always see disc golf courses and I missed it. One day, not actually, when was it? Last summer, a little bit like early summer, I went out throwing with some of my friends and came back home. It was hard and it hurt due to the nerve pain and everything, but that day changed my life coming back from it, and just that one time throwing. I came home and, my wife, was like, "You have this smile on your face, you seem like you," and I was like, "I miss that," and I had kinda discussed getting my PDGA card before that, and, she told me to go for it, and I was like, "Oh, are you sure?" And she looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Yeah, just go for it, it'll be something fun." No idea that I would be where I'm at now, signed by Daredevil, on Team Cardinal for 26 and on Team Disc Track, all the incredible people that I have met on this journey, and now I am just bound and determined to not only go pro, but to inspire as many people with my story. And the gist of that story is no matter what you have been through, you can come back from it. You can chase any dream at any age. You just got to have drive and you just got to be all gas, no brakes at all. And that just kind of sums up me, who I am, where I'm from, and how I got here really shortly. It's a lot to fit into um a little bit.
Yeah. So how's the leg feeling these days? Is it feeling
It's
better? Do you have good days or bad days or?
it's kind of a mix. I'll have most days are really hard, honestly. So I it was my entire sciatic nerve that was, for kind of a way to put it, damaged.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things that, it still really bothers me to this day. Nerve pain is unlike anything in this world. I still don't have feeling from the knee down, which is something that, it makes playing disc golf pretty difficult. So when I was teaching myself how to go back and throw before I really went all into it, I would stand in front of a mirror and watch how my foot felt, or how my foot would hit the ground. Um, and I have the feeling that I use the most is in my hamstring and my quad,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be how I can feel where pressure is in different places, is by moving around. But I also have I don't know if you know what an AFO brace is. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So, okay, I'm gonna kinda bring my leg up here.
Okay, cool.
This little contraption, it's got some straps right here, and
Yep.
there's like a little board that goes underneath my foot, so it holds it straight at all points in time, so it's not dipping down or doing anything like that. um, which kind of takes away the concern of, hey, is like your ankle going to roll and you're just not going to feel it. But good days and bad days all the same. You keep pushing through it. That's all that it is. And it sucks and it's hard, but it adds to the story. And
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I play with a messed up ankle where I have to wear a brace all the time, but I couldn't imagine not being able to feel my foot because like that's you think about it, that's kind of where you figure out, oh, my foot is touching. Okay, now start to pull through.
Hmm. Yep,
Wow.
that's why I play. So I'm a majority forehand player.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, it's a dude, it's the way to go, honestly. Um, and the reason for that is when you're, stepping up to go into a forehand throw, especially off the tee, I know, okay, my foot's here, it's gonna go straight. I can push up and feel it in my quad and hamstring, and I can balance myself out with my right. That's why in my videos, if you really break down my form, you can see my hips are just a little off center from where they normally would be, and
Hmm.
I've just completely taught myself how to balance out
Yeah,
and be able to get power on throws and everything else.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, for my forehand, my form is completely weird, but it works. Like, and I'm on the side of like Owen Scoggins says this all the time. Like her forehand, she says all the time that it's not like picture perfect, but it
Mhm.
works. So why change
Yeah,
it? So that's my
exactly.
philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. That's all there is to it. As long as you're getting good drives and you're getting good placement and you're setting yourself up for birdie, I don't think there's a whole lot else that matters. They don't ask how, they just ask how many.
Yeah. So like what's the disc golf scene out like in your local area? Is there like a lot of courses to play or do you have to drive out for it? Is there a lot of tournaments to go on every weekend or is it spaced out?
So, right now it's kinda spaced out, and I think that's just the time of year,
Mhm.
out here in Colorado. I mean, our winters are so weird. We haven't gotten a bunch of snow yet. Everybody's, like, anticipating it coming. Usually we'll get smacked with snow, and then it's, like, 70 degrees the next week. Like, it's all over the place. There's a lot of great courses out here. A lot of people, even if you don't live in Colorado, have you ever heard of Beaver Ranch?
I think one of my guests previously has mentioned that course.
So that's like one of the top courses in Colorado. Like people fly out here to play it. It's an incredible course. I believe it's over 22 holes in total. It might be 22. I don't remember off the top of my head. Each hole has three different pins for like beginner, intermediate, and pro. All three baskets are always up. So you can go out there and like one hole you want to play the pro length, you want to play intermediate the next, or you just want to like, ace run on the smaller ones. You can do whatever you want. They have a little, putting course out there too, which is fantastic. And around me, there's probably about 7 courses pretty close with me within, like, a 20-30 minute drive that I play all the time. Shout out Owl's Den, that's my home course. I love it with every fiber in my being. Um, the front 9 is super open, the back 9 is super technical. To me, that's, like, the perfect mix, especially if you're gonna go out and hit some practice rounds. Um, the so I've only recently gotten into the league scene.
Hmm.
I kind of finished up their last like 10 or so like Wednesday nights before they kind of ended, when it's getting dark at 4 o'clock. But I mean, there's some great guys out there that can really throw, man. And it's once I stepped into the league and after my first couple times there, I was like, this is great practice for tournaments. Like these dudes are good. Um, so that's been incredibly awesome, and just the disc golfers out here in general are so nice and so kind. I can't tell you how many people I've just stopped and talked to on the course about discs or, what they're doing with the course. Everybody's really informed of everything that's going on, and it's absolutely incredible.
That's really cool. So you mentioned earlier how you want to eventually get to the pro level. So
Yep.
how much do you practice and what does your practice look like?
So my practice right now is a little bit less than I would like it to be, just because it is getting dark so early.
Yep.
So I have kind of a weird work schedule. I'm Tuesday through Saturday. So Sunday and Monday are my go to a course, film your content, do field work. Every course I go to has a massive field next to it. So
Ooh.
after my round, I can step out and just rip some discs, try some different stuff, go back to the course, try it again. I do a lot of coursework, and I had a practice basket for a while. Recently, had to get a new one because my first one broke. Just getting in as many putts as humanly possible. That's different distances, doing it in the apartment, which my wife is great with. A lot of people wouldn't be, but she's like, "You're chasing your dream, go for it." I'm like, "All right, cool." Um, just any time that I can get practice in, whether it's putting, a lot of my kind of gearing up to get ready for that is watching the pros. I have watched so much of, just everybody's content in general, whether that be how-to videos or actual tournament play, to watch how they handle certain situations. And then I'll go to a course that I think kind of represents whatever I watched, and try to put myself in that position and try to replicate what they were doing, just to have it in my arsenal. I mean, if you can think of a way to practice it, I'm trying it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, what do you think is the one thing that you did to improve your game so rapidly as you have?
I think it's something that's very outside of the normal, and I think it's everything that I went through. Honestly, it completely changed my perspective on life. Going through a such a scare with my leg.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, there were points where it was questionable of, like, am I going to have it? And just that amount of pain and that amount of working through to get back to be able to get up and walk and do things like that. It completely changes your mindset, and it's something that now I'm much more meticulous about everything I do. And don't get me wrong, I love to have fun playing the sport. I love going out there and going, you know what, let's just throw every disc at this basket, try to ace run it, um, and doing stuff like that. But I think a big part of me advancing my game as quickly as I have has been just persistence and absolute stubbornness, because I will not quit. This is something that in one way or another I will achieve. Whether that's through drills or recording myself in footage and watching it and playing it back, really just going for it in every single way possible, because I got time to make up for. That's
Yeah.
I had a bunch of time taken away from me, and I got to get it back.
Yeah, that's so your mental game's gotta be extremely strong.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is I've talked to people about that, and they're like, "Oh wow, so it's like there's just no bad days and it's all just go go." I'm like, "Oh no, there's bad days. There will always be bad days mentally, but that's how you get mentally strong, is just getting over those hurdles."
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you throw Daredevil discs. So
Yes.
what's in your bag and what drew you to Daredevil? Because I've only known one other person who is Jimmy Ray who throws Daredevil. Otherwise, I've never like heard of the disc before.
No, I mean, honestly, not a lot of people have. That's super fair. So what got me into Daredevil, I'll give you a little backstory and then I'll show you what's in my bag, because I bagged 99% Daredevil. Um, so during my first tournament, when I went out, I met Marcus, who, he had Daredevil in his bag. And like, I mean, he was bombing them. He was just just chucking these things. And I think he showed me his Sasquatch, which I
Mhm,
don't currently have one of those, but they have a super funky rim. Let me see. So so this is my Bigfoot. This is a 13 speed.
mhm.
I'm not sure how well you can see this rim in there, and just
Yeah,
that,
those
like,
it's yeah.
yeah, he showed me that, and I don't know why, I was just hooked, because I was like, man, this is so unique. So I started trying to get a hold of Daredevil, got a hold of them, and I ended up signing with them with like 25% of the season left. I didn't compete for a full season, signed up with like under a quarter of it left. Signed with Daredevil and was looking through their discs, and I was like, "Man, these are awesome," and I had thrown some other, Marcus's other ones as well, and I was just hooked. Especially for a forehand player, I cannot recommend these enough. My number one go-to is gonna be this Timberwolf.
Mhm.
It's got it's a little more stable. I wouldn't call it understable. I usually play with 2 different weights, so this is gonna be my 174, and I had a 171, but it dropped into a lake, so I'm getting another one
Oh.
of those soon. Um, yeah, I got that on video. You can hear the, "Oh," like, just the depression every disc golfer knows. This is my go-to driver. I mean, I can hit this thing on a perfect forehand line, and it's so flippy, it flips up every single time. I love it. It has the perfect amount of fade as well. If I'm sitting at like a 3 to a 350 basket, I can park it within 20 feet of that basket every single time. I love this disc with all of my heart. My other two two favorites, absolutely, because I'd end up going through my whole bag here. I can rant about Daredevil
Oh,
discs.
please do.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is my Sabretooth.
Hmm.
This is going to be a little more overstable. This is a high performance driver from Daredevil. Again, it has that kind of, funky rim to it. I call it my little beefcake. If it's cold, if it's windy, I'm ripping this. The skips on it too. There's just an inner child part of me that sees a beautiful skip and I get all excited like a kid on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
I'm like, I love this skip. Like, you ever see it just has the perfect arch and it just drops in the basket. And they're
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful to me. Um, this is going to be my go-to putter. It's going to be the Polar Bear and it's going to be in a grip performance.
Okay.
It's a grip performance putter. The thing I love about this, if you get like even a, semi good towel and you keep it clean with water, it's always grippy and it's one of these guys that you can
Ooh.
just absolutely bend and fold. So to me, I have a lot of power and control over how this disc is going to come out.
Yeah.
Especially with that grip, when it's cold and everything out, that grip is so essential to hitting putts. So essential. Um, Let me see here. I got a bunch of putters because I've been doing a whole bunch of putter practice. This is my Hellbender Salamander. This is going to be the putt and approach disc that is my 9 times out of 10 go to. It's just got that perfect finger placement on the rim where you can really hit that follow through and just guide the disc to wherever you want it to go. I've had this disc in crazy situations, and it's a great forehand disc too. So you saying you're a forehand guy,
Yep.
definitely think you should bag one of these. I mean, it's a dart if you just got to get around a tree or something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, a little hiccup there. Um, Beautiful, beautiful disc. Where's my other oh, my other ones are hanging up back here. So this orange one, let me grab it real quick. This is my Wolverine, and it is going to be a high performance driver. I always forget it's a high performance for some reason. One of the straightest discs I have ever thrown in my life. It'll flip up for a second and then it goes right back down if you're trying
Ooh.
to just get that little bit of angle on it, that little bit of cut. Um, 10 out of 10 disc. Again, shout out Marcus for getting me into Daredevil and for putting me on the Wolverine. Absolute game changer. I bagged the Swift Fox as well. That guy's just a little too tucked back there, but I have two of those. So that one is actually an older model run that it's the grip performance plastic. That's going to be a 9 speed, absolutely crushes. Again, a flip up monster, and you can just get some of those beautiful little like S cuts through the air,
Yeah.
and it'll flip back both ways. But this is the OG stamp that I have for it. I just love the artwork on it. Um, I really love discs with artwork too. That's a huge thing for me. But so those are a majority of my Daredevil discs that I just love. All my other ones are putters, and they're a little. I should have cleaned them. They're a little dirty. But, it doesn't matter truly. I mean, I've tried so many of them. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Th There is something for everybody in Daredevil, and when I originally had reached out to Daredevil, and I got in touch with Patrick, who's the US rep, um, great guy, and, I was talking to him about my story, and, I would love to represent Daredevil, and he gave me my first big chance, and Daredevil did as well. So that is I will be loyal to Daredevil. They like that loyalty for me is a
Hmm.
huge thing. They give me my first huge chance and they have just blessed me with opportunity, left and right. With encouragement from the team, encouragement from Daredevil, and that I cannot say enough good things. If you guys ever have questions about any Daredevil discs and you want to try them, shoot me a DM, shoot Daredevil a DM. We'll get you guys hooked up. Right? There's something for everybody out there. And are you cool if I make an announcement real quick
Go ahead.
in
The floor's
regards to
all
Daredevil?
yours.
Okay, awesome. Um, so I was kind of trying to decide if I was going to go ahead and shoot this out during this. So this has been something that I've been talking about with, or Daredevil actually talked to me about, and I'm going to be captain for the 2026 team.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is the first time it's been said, you know, to the public. So, and that was, just a huge honor, and I'm so excited to represent those guys. There's a lot of big stuff planned for next year, and like, just watch out for Daredevil. That's all I got to say on that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see a
Yeah.
brand that like not many people know about and watch it kind of explode.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there's people out on the course that, they're like, hey, what disc is that? I'm like, oh, dude, give it a rip. And it's 9 times out of 10, it's the Timberwolf. They'll go ahead and throw it, and they just look at me with that look of, I should bag one of those. I'm like, yes, you should. Like, let me get you in touch with somebody.
Yeah. So, how did you come about with partnering up with Cardinal?
So
It's
partner,
Cardinal Disc, right?
yeah, Cardinal Disc Golf.
Okay.
So partnering up with Cardinal, I went ahead and put in just an application when I saw the team was opening up for taking in applications for the 2026 season.
Hmm.
And I went ahead and just threw my name out there and filled out the application. And I mean, this is a brand and a company that I have heard nothing but good things about. From all sorts of people, I've heard great things about their jersey material and just all the other products they've put out. Kevin, who runs it, I've followed Kevin kind of through getting back into disc golf, and I was like, dude, this guy's attitude is awesome. Just about everything. Like, he's got that little bit of sarcasm in there with his posts. He's funny, but he's also like, he's a great disc golfer. And he's actually the reason that I bag a wizard putter now. Side note,
Ooh,
which they're great. I don't know if you've ever tried one. It's probably one of the straightest putters I've ever tried. um,
I'm stuck. I'm with Team Trilogy, so I can only throw Trilogy. So
oh, okay.
that's the only plastic, and that's only ones that I've ever thrown has been Trilogy plastic. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
Um, h- how do you like those?
I love Trilogy.
Yeah.
Like for forehand, like the Saki Bomb Felons, those are the best like flex discs out there for like a flex forehand.
Okay.
Phenomenal. And if you
All
want to
right.
hyzer flip something, get yourself a Grace. It'll flip up and it'll just glide forever.
Okay. You got me thinking. All right, I'm gonna bag one of those later. Anytime anybody says like a little flip on a forehand, my eyebrow just kind of, tweaks
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit, and I'm like, let's go. But yeah, so the Cardinal, so I went ahead and put my application in, and I mean, they had so many people apply. And it was one of those, I was like, I haven't been playing that long, wasn't sure. And then I got in, and my wife was actually putting our 1-year-old to bed, and I'm out in the living room, and you hear me just start, like, hooting and hollering, and I'm fist bumping, like, he's wide awake then, she comes out, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm on Cardinal." She was like, "No way." Like, it was, but yeah, so I went through the application process, and I was lucky and blessed enough, to get selected for that team for 2026, and, again, it's a great team, to be a part of, a great group of people. I mean, you go through and you look at the Cardinal, people that are posting stuff, that are
Yep.
on Team Cardinal, and, I mean, man, you wanna talk about some people that are on the up and up all across
Yeah.
the board. Like, that whole team is nothing but supportive to one another and just so generous in feedback, whether that's on form videos and everything else. It's a huge opportunity, and I'm super blessed.
Yeah, you can tell the company's doing really well, not only with the great reviews of all their products, but that all
Mhm.
the products are good. And then you see all the people that he's bringing on to the team. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, he's doing real good business there.
Oh, he's cooking in the kitchen of Chef Kevin. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into this. The Ledgestone goal. So that's
Let's
what we'll
go.
call it. So let's
Cool.
dive into this.
All right, I'm ready for this one. So the Ledgestone goal, funny enough, started as a joke. I was at work and I saw Ledgestone, put this post up talking about, opening up the open for like an amateur division, and I was like, this is so crazy. Um, but it was one of those, like, just being completely honest, is like, traveling for disc golf is expensive. It's especially when you got kids and all this other stuff going on,
Hmm.
and just life. And I was like, you know what? I've seen people, hit up stuff like this and say, hey, how many likes? I never in a million years would have guessed that Ledgestone was going to respond. Never. And oh, sorry, my headphones were dinging. Case was charging. I forgot to unplug that. I was like, what is that noise? So I never thought they were going to respond. And when I saw the notification pop up that they responded, I held my breath. I was like, "There's no way this is ever having a shot at happening." And I opened it up, and they were like, "All right, 5K likes, and you got it for for a paid trip to come out to Ledgestone." And because that's what I had commented. I was like, "How many likes for a paid trip out?" And they put 5K up there, and immediately, I was literally getting off of work. And so I work at the same apartment complex that we live at, which makes the commute absolutely fantastic. Um, so immediately came back home and started trying to plan out how I was going to do this video. Because I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity that's up in
Yeah.
front of me right now. How do we get from 0 to 5K? And I mean, Ledgestone is just the mythical beast of disc golf, or one of them. It's an incredible place, and just trying to get that 5K goal, being as new as I am to social media and putting myself out there and making videos, I was like, you got to try to put something out there. You got to just go for this full tilt. So that's what happened. And the like I said, the second that they responded, it was game on. So that's something that I'm really, really hoping to make happen. Not only um, getting the 5K likes and getting to Ledgestone, but I also wanted to say thank you to the community, for if I do get to Ledgestone and get all those likes. So I wanted to run I'm calling it a gift giveaway. So how that would work is, once I make it to Ledgestone, I would pick 4 people, just randomly selected out of those 5K, and I would build them gift packages at Ledgestone. So it's going to be 2 Ledgestone stamped discs, 2 stickers, 1 patch, and whoever winners I pick, it would be their choice of a hat, shirt, or hoodie, whichever one they want. I figured that was kind of like a cool personal touch slash, small way that I could give back. But then, when it comes to the actual tournament play, obviously the goal is to win.
Hmm.
I'm a very highly competitive, very driven person, and the goal is to win. You get the story, and then you use that story to help other people achieve their goals in some manner. If somebody else is trying to make a video to get somewhere, and then I can give them tips on, hey, this is something that really worked for me. And and then being in that big of a tournament, it really shows you how to handle emotions better. um so whatever emotions would happen there, be able to, maybe it's in a smaller tournament, tell somebody else that's having a bad round, hey, I know this is hard. If you really just kind of focus on this for a second, that last shot was great, shake it off and move forward. And then I can be, the guy that made it to Ledgestone. That might mean a little bit more, for helping somebody else down the line as well.
Yeah. For everyone that's hearing this, make sure you go over to his Instagram and give him a like. We got to get these likes up there.
Oh, I would appreciate that so much. I think last time I checked, it was like sitting under 500, and it was like 13.7K views. And it was one of those where I was like, oh, we could have had it. I was like, it's right there. But yeah, everybody that has liked that and shared it, thank you guys so much. Even if that goal's not hit, which, yeah, it would be disappointing, just the amount of love and support from the disc golf community is absolutely fantastic.
We'll definitely make sure that gets hit. And plus, Kona shared it, so that's going to definitely
Yeah.
help. She has a huge social media following.
Oh, she's huge all the way around, and I mean, she's an awesome disc golfer too. So yeah, shout out Kona there.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of Kona, how much coverage do you watch, and who do you look up to on both the MPO side and the FPO side?
So my coverage is kind of spotty. Most of my coverage watching is going to be when I'm going back and looking at form, just because I'm so insanely busy between practice, work, and kiddo and all that.
Hmm.
Um, Probably the two biggest MPO that I kind of watch and follow is going to be Isaac Robinson and Ezra. I can never say his last name right. Adderhold.
Aderhold.
Aderholt, that's what it is. Every time. I don't know what it is. I'm like, "Dude, this guy, you follow him everywhere, and you gotta get this right." Those 2 guys, obviously, it's just their play style is so intense and so spot on, and they're also just genuinely awesome guys.
Hmm.
Watching their content and watching them play, to me, somebody that makes you feel inspired in that way where you're like, "I wanna be like that person and hit this stage and perform the way that they do." That's a huge thing. When it comes to FPO, definitely Kona. I keep up with all of her stuff.
Yep.
Uh, Paige and Missy, those three. And again, it goes back to that level of intensity, and you can see everything that they do. They are dialed in, and you can see where practice pays off in just the energy that they have. Like even when their card mates have great shots, they're all over their card mates. Like, that's awesome. I'm like, that's perfect. Like, that's an excellent way to represent the sport.
That's super cool. So what are some of your goals for next season as we're looking into like the starting of 2026 in like 2 days?
Yeah, no, it came up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. So I'm setting the bar as high as I can for myself next season. It's going to be my first full season competing. I don't want to have any rounds below 900, which I had a couple of rounds. I think it was 5 or 6 rounds above 900. The highest I got, I believe, was at 933, which for only playing a quarter of tournament play, not too bad. But obviously, you want to be better. My other goal is to obviously play really well. I'm going to be starting the year out in MA2.
Hmm.
I want to end the year very strong in MA1. And so there's actually a Beaver Ranch Fall Classic. They had the first one last year. My main goal for this year is to be good enough to compete at the MPO division in that tournament. They it's an awesome course, and I was watching all the guys out there playing on MPO this year, and it was one of those just lit a fire inside of me of, "You need to play this MPO tournament next year." And if I can hit, one of the other goals. So I have so many goals, it's like narrowing them down, you get, like, scatterbrain. Um, I wanna be comfortable hitting 40-foot putts very casually.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously next season I can push that back maybe another 10, 15 feet. So a lot of big goals to hit, and I'm just ready to run through that brick wall, which is funny because running's kind of hard for me. But you gotta be able to laugh at it, man. It's
Yeah.
You actually can't run, so that makes it even funnier. But
Okay, so we're wrapping this up. Do you have any questions for me?
oh, how do you, how does it feel to have this show, man? I mean, it's incredible. You're doing a great job. We were talking about it beforehand. And, you said you just got the idea and ran with it. What's that like for starting up a podcast?
Uh, it's at first you think, oh, this is gonna be super easy, and then you get into it. It's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to it, and then like I constantly say, like each episode, I'm learning something new to make it better. And then I sit there
Yeah.
and think, man, if only I knew this at the beginning, I'd be further ahead instead of scrambling around constantly changing things to make things better.
I mean, that's the best way to learn though. I mean, isn't, every disc golfer when you're getting back into it or you're learning and, a couple months down the line you figure out something with a shot and you're like, "Oh, if only I did that slight adjustment months ago, everything would be different. Like every tournament would have been different." But yeah, I mean, it's awesome what you're doing. I love it. And you're gonna go so far with this. Honest, I think that would be my only like question slash comment for you. Um, and I mean, that's a good question. If you want a Timberwolf, I'm more than happy to send you out. Oh, never mind. You said the throw thing. Sorry. That
Yeah, I'm a
was,
team trilogy, so
yeah,
I
nope, sorry about
only
that. I had this
trilogy.
split second.
Yeah, but for putters, I'd highly recommend like a maiden for you to try.
A maiden?
Definitely. Yeah, get it in
Okay,
the
yeah.
in yeah, they have special runs so you can get them
Okay.
either in like a putter plastic or you can get them in like what they call the ring edition. So it has like a gold ring, a black ring, or red ring, and it's in tournament plastic. So that's
Okay.
amazing throwing putter.
Okay. All right. See, you're putting me onto all these putters. I got Kevin putting me on the wizard putters. I feel like this season is the season of putter dial in.
Yeah.
Perfect condition, perfect putter. I'm gonna pick one of those up for sure, and then I'll drop a video with it and tag you in it.
Yeah, the maiden for putting it has a micro bead on it, and it's a very thin putter, so it fits perfect.
Ooh,
And
okay.
like, yeah, it's very thin, very low profile, so it glides.
Oh, the glide on putters is so beautiful. Like you're
Oh
telling me you see a
yes,
putter just gliding through the air and it just doesn't itch that right part of your brain where it's beautiful.
yeah. And then you watch someone drain like a 40 footer like with ease and just like no effort and just watch it glide. It's
Yeah.
like,
Is
dang,
Yep.
that must be nice.
Oh, that's kind of how I felt watching Calvin's big putt.
Yes,
When he won that, I watched him putt that, and I mean, it was just this like it was like he was in a grocery store, and he was just tossing something in the cart so casually. I watched him step up to it, and right away I was like, "He's got it."
yeah,
I was like, it was just like disc golf is art. It is art, and I mean, you have beautiful paintings out there, just in
yeah,
in every player.
yeah. Yeah, speaking of Kelvin, that was like the first time I ever seen him like show any type of expression during a tournament.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my
yeah.
god, he's human.
Yeah, he's always got that stone cold, like, "I'm so locked in," and then he did that, and I was like, "There it is. He's been waiting. He's been cooking this up for a while."
Yeah, definitely. So any more questions?
I think that's it, man. Also, thank you for having me on. This has been an incredible experience, and I feel so grateful and so humble that God put this opportunity in my life, to get to connected with you and be on this podcast. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, anytime. Last thing I'll ask is where can people follow and find you on social media and
So
make sure you get those likes over to his page.
on Instagram at Des Discs, that's DEZ underscore and then discs. And the Ledgestone video will actually be the pinned video on my page. So yeah, if you guys could just absolutely blow that up, make it to Ledge, and I can make it to Ledgestone and have the opportunity of a lifetime, that would be something truly incredible. And I would appreciate that so much.
Cool. Thank you for hopping on tonight.